Welcome to 843 TV. I'm your host Lisa Richardson, and we are coming to you from the Golf House on Spring Island. Joining us today are two special guests. Christian Pulitzer, he is the Outdoor Activities Director, here to share all about the fishing, the skeet, and the archery available on Spring Island. Next up then is John Strother. He is the broker in charge here at Spring Island Realty to tell us all about some new properties up for sale and all the wonderful amenities. So stick around and join us for this episode of 843 TV, where communities come to speak.
(843 TV), where Bluffton comes to speak.
Where Spring Island comes to speak.
Where Hilton Head Island comes to speak.
Where Beaufort comes to speak.
(843 TV),
where communities come to speak. Welcome to 843 TV, and today we are coming to you from the Golf House out at Spring Island, always an absolutely gorgeous place. And today joining us first is Chris Pulitzer. He is the Outdoor Activities Director here at Spring Island. Chris, thanks for coming and joining us today.
My pleasure.
I know you have a wonderful position here, and you've been here about 6 years, but you've got quite a family history rooted in this area and the outdoor activities, including fishing. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your background.
Well, Lisa, I got into fishing at a very young age. My father was a charter boat captain out of Hilton Head for 40 years. He ran out of Harbor Town Marina. So I actually started fishing, as a young boy in the rivers and creeks. I had a little Boston whaler. And then as I got older, I actually ended up working for my dad as first mate on his charter boat, the Hero.
It's kind of a little dream position to grow up around this area and learn all about the waters, and that's quite an extensive system, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. But what else do you do here at Spring Island besides fishing? Give us a little overview of your role.
Sure. Basically, as Outdoor Activities Director, I'm in charge of the fishing and the sporting clays. We take members and guests out on boats, their boats or our boats, and then we also teach them to shoot sporting clays at the clay range.
Well, that's amazing. You got a pretty nice job.
It's a good gig.
Yeah, it really is. So, I talk to people all the time, Christian. They're coming from other parts of the country. And can you share with us how, so if I'm in California or I'm up in New England and I fish a lot, when I come here, I might as well have landed on Mars because our ecology is so different from theirs. How would I learn how to fish, and what type of things have you got to help me?
Well, basically, John, we offer several different services as far as fishing goes. If you don't have a boat, we have boats. We have charter boats that we can take you out on, inshore or offshore. If you have your own boat, you can also hire us as captains to take you on your own boat. If you'd like to learn the water, we have a lot of new members that come, and they don't know the waterway, so they hire us to kind of help them learn where to go, what to do, what to use. And in essence, they're hiring us to teach them where to catch the fish. And it works out really well for them most of the time.
Well, it really does. That's time well spent because our tides we have 6 to 8 foot tides.
Correct.
And just learning where to go, how to operate your boat here, when's the best time to go fish, and where the fish are. Yeah,
and there are a lot of opportunities inshore or offshore. Obviously, right here close by to Spring Island, the inshore fishing is fantastic. And then not far away, we've got Port Royal Sound, and then the Atlantic Ocean's only about 20 minutes as well. So,
what inshore fishing? What does that mean?
Well, we fish in the creeks and the rivers, basically inside of the offshore demarcation line, 3 mile. We fish inshore for redfish, trout, flounder, but the big draw is the redfish or red drum. People really like to catch reds, and they're fun to catch, and they're also good to eat.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they are.
There's such an education, really, to this whole thing with where to go, what kind of fishing, what kind of fish. And fishing is not just for the warm season. In fact, it's almost a year round. So you help to educate the folks on how that cycle works?
We do, yeah. We have different seasons for different fish. For instance, right now in the wintertime, we catch a fish called a sheephead. That's really fun to catch, very good to eat, but it's a cooler water fish. And then in the summer, we catch cobia, early summer. And then as we progress into the fall, the speckled trout and the redfish are really the target.
Yeah. And so you have the infish, and when we say creeks, it's as big as most rivers. A creek here is as big
It
as a
is.
river for most areas. So then we go out into Port Royal Sound, Broad River. What is that? I mean, can you describe that?
Sure. Well, Port Royal Sound is a very unique waterway, body of water. It harbors a lot of life. We have the Port Royal Sound Foundation, which really promotes the sound and what it has to offer, and also protects it. But the fishing in Port Royal Sound, I've been fishing in there since I was a kid for cobia. There's Spanish mackerel. We catch king mackerel right in the mouth of the sound. It's just a fun place to fish. You don't really know what you're going to catch. It's different times of year. You've got so many different opportunities.
And that, I mean, good fishing is just seconds away from here, really.
It
isn't
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, nearby the island and even on the island.
Yeah.
Now, Spring Island has what we call some saltwater impoundments. Explain what that is.
Okay, the saltwater impoundments, we've got basically 3 saltwater impoundments that we fish on the island, and they're controlled by rice gates, and there's levees that run around the impoundments. And you can either fish from the levee, from the dike, or you can go in a boat. We have a boat that's accessible by members on every one of these impoundments. And basically we've got everything in the impoundments that you have out in the river. So you don't even need to go out in the river if you don't want to. Some days maybe when the wind's blowing or you don't have time to go out, you can spend an hour in the impoundment. We've got redfish, flounder, and trout. And we've got some of the best red fishing, fly fishing for redfish that you can possibly find.
Yeah, that's incredible. Can you explain the fly fishing? I know you've got flats boats. And,
Right.
Sure.
Yeah, the impoundments are a little different animal as far as fishing goes. You can sight fish, which is very unique in an impoundment. Yeah. So we have the average depth in these impoundments is about 2 feet. So you can wade through the water, actually pick out a redfish and cast to it with the fly or the spinning rod. But it's very unique to have that opportunity in an impoundment, and the water's clear enough to where you can see them on most days.
You know, I had a couple that I took out to the shrimp pond, which is one of these saltwater impoundments, and there were 2 eagles. One was sitting in a tree, one was flying around. There was an osprey out there fishing, herons and egrets, and the couple that was with me, the guy just looked at me and said, "You got to be kidding me." He said, "Just
Just an everyday scene right around
It
the low
was.
country, isn't it?
Yeah, it
Yes.
was. It was incredible.
Yes,
Yeah, they're
amazing.
members here now.
Christian has a whole lot more to share, not just about fishing, but some other outdoor activities. So you all stay right here. We'll be back with more 843 TV. Welcome back to 843 TV here at the Golf Clubhouse here at Spring Island. And joining us today is Christian Pulitzer. He's been sharing all about his awesome position as the Outdoors Activities Director. We've talked all about fishing, but in fact there's a lot more to do outside. And let's start with something called sporting clays. I think a lot of us have heard about that, might not necessarily understand that. So talk about that sport if you would.
Sure. Well, here at Spring Island, Lisa, we've got a sporting clays course, which is 10 stations where you go out and shoot each station, and you can shoot any number of targets that you like, as little or as much as you'd like to shoot. But sporting clays in itself, we teach people to shoot. It's actually a clay target that's projected from a machine, and it throws automatically. And we teach you to hit a moving target. You know, a lot of people are used to shooting a stationary target with rifles and handguns and such, but sporting clays is different and unique that you're actually shooting a moving target.
So I just love the feeling of our sporting clays range. It's so natural. Don't we have a 5-stand?
We have a 5-stand as well, where you can get multitudes of targets. We have 7 different machines up at the 5-stand, and we also have an elevated shooting position there as well.
And then I like the 10-stand because it's just walking down this sandy road, coming to each station, and they're all different. And I think it's supposed to emulate actual quail hunting habitat there.
It is, John. We've actually got a lot of members that quail hunt. We have a nearby plantation that we have a relationship with where our members quail hunt, and we try to simulate the quail hunting situation as much as possible with the clays course. That's one great thing about sporting clays as opposed to skeet. Skeet is a regimented shot every time you move positions. Sporting clays, you're actually walking through the woods and you're seeing different shot presentations, and that's really what you'd see out in the quail woods.
Yeah, yeah, it's so natural, it's so beautiful.
We said next time we're going to film, he's going to take us out there and show us a thing or two, right?
Exactly, yeah.
We'll have to do that. And speaking of that, if someone has ever done this before, what steps do you take to train them and show them how to take
Well,
part
initially, when you first come to the clays course, we'll check your eye dominance. That's a big thing when you want to shoot off the right shoulder. If you're right eye dominant or left eye dominant, we'll try and get you situated correctly. And then we start with the mount. The mounting of the gun is the most important thing. And then we just go from there. Sporting clays is a hand-eye coordination sport. We've got a lot of golfers that come shoot, and we've got a lot of sporting clay shooters that play golf. So they go hand in hand. We actually have a sporting clays and golf tournament where we combine the two. So it's fun. We make it fun for everyone. If you've never shot before, it's something new and interesting to try.
And I love the fact y'all have social shoots here, on Wednesdays and Fridays.
Yep, we actually have social shoots 2 days a week, and we do it for ladies and men separately, and then we also have some shoots where we mingle. But it really is a social event. We shoot and we socialize, so it's fun.
Quite a combination, isn't it?
It really is. I like that because you can come and you can learn in a friendly environment and really start from zero and get as good as you want
It's
to.
very laid back, and if you want to get some personal instruction, I'm a certified National Sporting Clays instructor. So if you want to come get some one-on-one instruction, we can certainly help you with that. That really, if you're beginning, I suggest that to people, because the one-on-one is going to work out better than if you're in a large group. It's just better instruction.
Yeah.
You mentioned skeet is another activity. Tell us a little more of that.
Yeah, we're actually installing a skeet range now out on the sporting clays course, and we're excited about that. That's just going to give us something else to offer to our members. And then we're also beginning to set up an archery range with 3D archery target. We have several members that like to practice archery with a compound bow or a long bow. So we're excited about that too.
Wow, that's great. And I know y'all have made a lot of improvements down there over the past year with bathroom facilities and a little clubhouse. And
we have an outfitter's office now down there with a bathroom, and again, it's a place to shoot, but it's also a place to socialize. So
yeah, I know, I love that, with a little porch and all the tables and chairs around outside, and fire going in the wintertime.
Yes sir.
It's a great environment.
As mentioned, we were talking earlier, no matter what time of year we come to Spring Island, it's always beautiful, whether it's a little chilly like this time of year, always so many things to do. So for the folks who are considering making a move from somewhere else in the country, you've been here all your life in this low country, what are some things that you might say as a further encouragement besides it's naturally beautiful?
Well, if you like to shoot and fish, I've always said there's no other place on earth to be. It truly is a sportsman's paradise, and that's really why I really love working at Spring Island, because we've got it all here. We've got sporting clays, we've got hunting nearby, we've got fishing on the island and then in the river, and there's just so much opportunity to get outside and enjoy it. You can be a couch potato if you want, but there's the opportunity there to get out and do it all. So
it is, and so many people are into multiple interests. So well, I think, didn't y'all have a social shoot, and then people came out here for lunch, and then they went and played golf?
Yeah.
I know guys quail hunt, and then they'll come here and play golf. I mean, it's just, everybody's doing something different all the time.
Yeah, it's not uncommon for a lot of our members to go quail hunting in the morning or shoot sporting clays in the morning and then go fishing in the afternoon, hence the cast and blast. I mean, we have a tournament, cast and blast, where you go fishing half the day and you shoot the other half, and we combine the scores. So it's a fun fun tournament.
Quite a lot of things to enjoy for sure. Christian, thank you for sharing about all that, but you all stick around. We're going to be learning a little bit more about Spring Island when we're back with 843 TV. Welcome back to 843 TV here at the Golf House on Spring Island. John Strother is joining us now. He is the broker in charge of Spring Island Realty. John, it's always great to be here and be with you to learn all about Spring Island. But for those who do not know, what is Spring Island Realty?
Well, Spring Island Realty is, I guess, like everything else at Spring Island. It's kind of unique. It's owned by the members here. They bought the company about 10 years ago, and they did that in order to basically control our message. We're such a, not peculiar, but just unique, unique community in the sense that we have a separate membership. And the big challenge is to explain to people who we are, why this would fit for them before they even come here to look at houses and things like that. So, we're member-owned, which is totally unusual.
So members meaning the homeowners, the
Yes,
property
the
owners.
400 members here.
So
yeah.
you're investing not only in your home, but in the community itself and the real estate so that you can make sure that your message is, like you mentioned, uniform and really to the heart of what you want to get across. So
Exactly.
that's a great thing.
Yeah, it is.
Now, we always have an opportunity to talk about a great property when we come out here and see new things. I understand you've got another one coming up. Tell us about that one.
Well, we've got the Pointer Cottage. We have 4 little red cottages and down in Walker Landing, and they're little 2-bedroom cottages. They're adorable. Pointer Cottage, the couple there, they've decided to buy a bigger house and spend more time here, or to build a house on the marsh. They haven't decided yet, but they do know they want to sell this. It's a 2-bedroom cottage. It's about 15 years old. They've owned it for the entire 15 years. They've been so happy using it as a second home. They've completely renovated this house. New roof, insides, remodeled. I mean, new showers, kitchens, everything. It's a brand new cottage. It's really adorable. You can sit on the porch. You can look at the horses in the morning when the sun's coming up and the mist is on the paddocks. You can walk over to the shrimp pond, go shrimping. You can go down to the fitness center, walk down there and take classes or get a massage and eat at the River House. So it's a great location. And they're also available for our rental program to other members who may not have a house here or may need extra space. But that's a wonderful little 2-bedroom that's available for around $375. So that's a great buy.
Now, I've learned in the past, when you say cottage, it doesn't necessarily mean small. Although those 2 bedrooms, give us an idea how large the house is.
Well, this
square
is
footage-wise.
small.
Okay.
This is a true cottage, and it's probably about 1,500 square feet. It's adorable. It looks like just a little southern shack. It's just really charming.
Now, you also have a home site that you're highlighting right now on Spring Island Drive. So tell us a little bit about that one.
Yes, I love this home site. It's I think lot number 51, Spring Island Drive, and it's almost 5 acres. And so what does 5 acres mean? Well, I don't know. So it's about 100 yards wide and over 200 yards deep. I mean, this is a big lot, beautiful trees. The marshes and the Colton River in the distance. It's just a wonderful view. You've got palmetto trees, pine trees, oak trees, a high elevation. You could build virtually anything that you would want here. It's just, it's room to breathe, privacy. It's close to Bonnie Shore, just a couple miles away from Walker Landing, so it's still close to everything, but the ultimate privacy. So you could build a little cottage or a big cottage, whichever you'd want to do.
And I always like to mention this for those who may not know. When you're in Spring Island, you're secluded, but you're not too far, in reality, from a lot of different areas that you can access fairly close. Hilton Head and Beaufort and Bluffton and the Okatie area. So you're secluded, you're in this beautiful place all your own, but you can actually get to some fairly close places. So I think that's a big plus.
Oh, it is. It's huge. And And the places that you're close to, you know, this region is still authentic. It's very popular. It's a really area that people are really focused in on coming to because of the weather, the charm. Beaufort, 300-year-old town. Savannah, 300-year-old.
Of course, Savannah, yeah. Charleston.
Charleston's very close. Old Town Bluffton has got a completely different vibe, but that's incredible. And then Hilton Head, the environment here, the focus on, we have two focuses. One south of the Broad is on growth, and the one north of the Broad is on conservation and conservancy. So, you know, you can turn left and go one way, you can turn right and go the other way and have a wonderful time. There's always something going on. But
That's
here, we've got water surrounding us and only 400 families on this 3,000-acre island. So it's like, you know, I've got my own little private paradise.
And you mentioned that the 400 families are a tight-knit group, and you can get to know different people and have those relationships form. So share a little bit about that. We were talking about that ourselves.
Yeah, it's you know, it's a peculiar thing. People say, well, how do I get to know people here? You know, there's so few people here. And for me, it would be more difficult to move to a big city where there's 1 million people to meet people than come here, because people here, it's like when you're in school or when you're in camp or when you're an expat or when you're in college. You're bound together by this group. Here we are. There are all kinds of different things going on. So let's experience them. Let's see what we can do together. And it's all in a supportive environment. So the relationships you make here are stronger than relationships you probably make anywhere in your life. You know, it's a really incredible place.
Well, there's so much more we could talk about, but I think that's a wonderful way to end because we're out of time. So John, thank you for sharing all about the wonderful amenities here at Spring Island as always, and thank you for watching another episode of 843 TV, where communities come to speak.